What's up guys, Shane Starnes here with Droid Modder X, and the UPS man finally arrived. It is officially iPhone 10 day. You've probably already taken your phone out of the box and set it up initially, but there are still several things that you should do on your iPhone 10 to get the very best possible usage out of your brand new device. I'm going to show you those 10 things. These are the first 10 things you should do on the iPhone 10. Let's go ahead and get started. So with the iPhone 10, we have an all new design, and you'll see that it is covered in glass. The first thing you're probably going to notice is that it gets smudged very easily, and while it's not as easy to see those smudges on the silver version of the iPhone 10, you're definitely going to want to cover up that glass to protect it from scratches and also to protect it from cracking, and also just to make it less prone to slipping. The best way to do that is to add a slick wraps. Not only will slick wraps prevent your phone from scratching, they're also going to add a bit of flair. From the natural series to the galactic series to the animalactic series, there's something there for everybody. I'll be sure to include a link in the description of where you can pick up your slick wraps today. Be sure to use this link to receive $5 off your purchase. The next thing you want to do is become familiar with all of the various gestures on the phone. There's no home button, so the way that you use the iPhone 10 is totally different from any other iPhone in the past. So of course, to get home, all you would need to do is swipe up. So if we go into our browser, we can swipe up. That gets us right back to home. If you pull down from the left side of the panel, that's going to bring up your notifications. If you pull down from the right side of the panel, that's going to bring up your control center. All right, now if you have a couple of different things open at once, you can multitask. So we'll just open up the App Store, then we'll go back home and open up the browser. Now if you swipe up and pause, that's going to bring up your multi-tab viewing. This is how you'll be able to multitask and go between applications. And then you can also just swipe from the bottom to multitask as well. Next up, you want to go ahead and get familiar with your side button. This is no longer the power button, it is now the side button. And there are a few things that you can do with your side button that used to require a home button and no longer do. When you long press the side button, that's going to activate Siri. That used to be a long press of the home button. Now it's just a long press of the side button. Single tap to wake the phone, and double tap to launch Apple Pay. Home button plus the power button used to be the way that you take a screenshot. That is no longer the case. To take a screenshot, now you will just press and hold the volume up and also the side button, and that will take your screenshot. All right, if you want to power off the phone, it's going to be volume down and the side button. Just hold them until the power options come up. You would be able to bring up that power off option with either of the volume buttons. So press and hold the volume up and power button until the option comes up, or the same with the volume down. All right, the next thing you want to do is go ahead and set up your Face Unlock. So we'll go into our settings, go into Face ID and passcode. All right, we'll go to Reset Face ID. Set up Face ID. Now this is probably something that you did if you received the phone in the mail. If you did it in the store, they may have kind of skipped that. But all you have to do is look at the phone and do a circle with your face. So we'll go ahead and get started. First Face ID scan is complete. Second Face ID is complete. And I'll go ahead and show you guys how it works. So we'll go ahead and turn the wake lock off. Wake up the phone, and you see how it unlocks there. So now the phone is unlocked. All I have to do is swipe up to get into the phone. We'll do that one more time. You guys can see it works pretty well. And now we're unlocked. Swipe up, and we're in the phone. So we'll do that one more time. This is a little quicker of a method. You can actually double tap and swipe up, or tap, swipe up, and you're in. So there's one other really good use of that front-facing camera, and we'll go ahead and try to send an emoji. We'll go with the robot, and you can see that it does everything that I do. So I'll go ahead and record something here. What is up, my friends? This is DMX the Monkey here, and yep, you guys see how it works. So we'll go ahead and stop, and you can send that. We'll play it. This is DMX the Monkey here, and yep, you guys see how it works. So next up, you'll probably want to take a portrait with the front-facing camera. As you can see here, I did a quick little selfie portrait on the front-facing camera, and it actually does a pretty good job of blurring the background. Obviously, would have done better outside in a well-lit area. So you also have a telephoto lens with the camera, so it's a dual lens camera setup, and it does have that telephoto lens, which means you can get great 2x zoom. And on the iPhone X, that is actually a stabilized secondary lens, which is pretty awesome. You have to pay for the upgraded iPhone X to get that feature, but you'll see that you're able to do some really nice close-ups, and you may want to take a close-up picture with your phone. As you can see, everything is really nice and detailed there. All right, once you're done kind of playing around with all the new features, there are a few settings that you'll probably want to make on the phone. The first of which, you want to make sure that you do turn on Find My iPhone. All right, so you go into your settings, go into your privacy, turn on location services. Once you have location services turned on, go back to your main settings menu, tap on your name, and then just be sure that Find My iPhone is turned on. Right here it says Find My iPhone. It should be turned on by default, but just make sure that it's turned on. This way, if you were to misplace your phone, this is kind of a hot commodity, you'll want to be able to find it, or if it gets stolen, as long as you have your Find My iPhone turned on, you will be able to retrieve your lost or stolen iPhone. All right, if you happen to be on a limited data plan, a lot of plans are now unlimited, but if you're still on a limited data plan, you're gonna wanna make sure to turn off Wi-Fi Assist. Wi-Fi Assist allows you to connect to Wi-Fi if your cellular data connection is less than stellar. Apple's idea here is to give you the best possible experience, and by doing that, they will use your cellular connection when your Wi-Fi connection isn't very strong or is not very good, and it does it automatically. It is enabled out of the box, so this means that you could be unknowingly using your limited data when you mean to be using your Wi-Fi. So in order to turn that off, you're going to go into Settings, Cellular, go all the way down here to where it says Wi-Fi Assist, and turn that off. This way, you're only going to be connected to Wi-Fi when you're connected to Wi-Fi, and you're only going to be using your cellular data when you were not connected to Wi-Fi. This would also be a great time to go ahead and turn on Do Not Disturb. Do Not Disturb allows you to dismiss calls and notifications at certain times of day, and you can even set up schedules. So if you know that you're not going to use your phone from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. because you're sleeping, you can set up a schedule to Do Not Disturb you. You can also set up favorites so that you can allow calls and notifications from like important people in your life. So say that you wanted everyone else to leave you alone except for your wife, you'd be able to set that up in Do Not Disturb. So we'll go into our settings, Do Not Disturb. You can go ahead and turn that on, and from there you can set up your schedule. You can set it for only when the iPhone is locked or always, and you can set it to allow calls from your favorites. That way you don't miss out on an emergency situation. You can also tell it to turn off repeated calls, so if someone doesn't get you the first time, it's kind of annoying when they call back and call back and call back. You can actually turn that on to where they can't get through on second and third attempts. All right, so to save on some performance and battery life, you can tell your phone to not automatically refresh applications. So if there's some applications you don't use, then there's no reason for the phone to continue to refresh those and give you notifications on those apps. So you'll go into your general, go into background app refresh, and any of these applications that show up here that you're not going to use, say, I don't normally use the notes, I don't normally use the podcast stocks, I don't need to be notified on those, so I don't need my phone constantly refreshing the information on those applications, and this will save you a little bit of battery and a little bit of performance. All right, so swiping from the right top brings up your control center, but did you know that you can actually customize your control center? To do that, you're going to go into your settings, go into control center, and customize controls. Here you can actually add any of these toggles that you think you might need. So if you need a toggle for your stopwatch or screen recording, you can go ahead and add those. There's a new one in iOS 11, Do Not Disturb while driving. Once your phone realizes that you're in a car that is moving, if you have that toggled on, then your phone will actually disconnect from services. You won't be able to use your phone. So that's really great for someone that's driving. It kind of takes away the temptation to look at your phone and check it. So if you wanted to enable that in your control center, you just add it, and then there it is right there. Tap on that, and your phone will go into Do Not Disturb mode while you're driving. All right, you may want to give wireless charging a shot. With the iPhone 10, you do have a glass back, and that enabled them to be able to build wireless charging into this device. It's also been featured on the iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus, but go ahead and give that a shot, and you'll see that it does work. And it actually works very well. I'm just using a Samsung wireless charger here. Any wireless charger that is Qi enabled will work on the iPhone 10. The last thing you'll probably want to do is head over to Amazon and pick up a 29-watt charge brick and a USB Type-C to a lightning cable cord. That way you can take full advantage of the built-in fast charging. The 5-watt charge brick that comes with the iPhone 10 does not fast charge your phone. So if you want to take advantage of that fast charging, you can actually head over to Amazon and buy those two things. I'll be sure to include a link in the description of where you can pick up what you need to get started with fast charging on this phone. Anyways, guys, that about wraps it up for the first 10 things you should do with the iPhone 10 to get the best possible experience with your new phone. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel for more content like this in the future. You can find more of me at droidmodderx.com. Follow me on Twitter at droidmodderx. Thanks, guys, for watching. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next one.